This is breaking news.
Trump says DeSantis running for president would be a great act of disloyalty. Former President Trump said Florida Gov. Ron DeSantis, running for president would be a great act of disloyalty, as he kicked off his first two major campaign events as part of his own 2024 presidential run. Trump visited New Hampshire and South Carolina, two of the first states to vote in the primary calendar, on Saturday after a quieter-than-normal beginning to his re-election campaign. He launched his campaign in mid-November, but has yet to hold any major rallies that were consistent during his 2016 and 2020 runs. Trump announced the leaders of his New Hampshire and South Carolina campaigns during his speeches. After his South Carolina speech, he sat for an interview with the Associated Press and criticized DeSantis, who is rumored to be considering his own presidential run and who has consistently placed second in hypothetical Republican primary polls. Trump emphasized his own status leading in many of those polls and took credit for DeSantis' first election as governor of Florida. If he runs, that's fine. I'm way up in the polls. He's going to have to do what he wants to do. But he may run, Trump said. I do think it would be a great act of disloyalty because, I got him in. He had no chance. His political life was over. Trump endorsed DeSantis ahead of the Republican primary for the gubernatorial race in 2018. Trump faced criticism from many in his own party following the November midterm elections, in which Republicans underperformed their hopes and expectations. The president's party has historically lost seats in Congress during the midterms, but Democrats were able to grow their majority in the Senate and only narrowly lost in the House. Many, including some allies of Trump, blamed the former president for endorsing GOP candidates in the primaries who were seen as less likely to win a general election but more loyal to him than their other challengers. Many of these candidates lost in key congressional and gubernatorial races. Polls began showing DeSantis, who has not publicly confirmed he had a 2024 run, closing the gap with Trump, or in some cases, leading in hypothetical polls. But Trump led DeSantis by 17 points in a Morning Consult poll earlier this month. Trump told AP that he has not spoken to DeSantis in a long time. He expressed confidence about his own prospects with the possibility of DeSantis running in an interview with David Brody on the water cooler earlier this week, saying, "We'll handle that the way I handle things." Trump is the only major candidate who has officially launched their candidacy in the 2024 race, but many Republicans have indicated they are considering running, including former Vice President Mike Pence, former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley, and former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Trump takes aim at DeSantis in first major campaign swing, says he's trying to rewrite history on his COVID-19 record. Former President Donald Trump took aim at Ron DeSantis Saturday, claiming the Florida governor and his team are trying to rewrite history regarding their COVID-19 pandemic response, and called the potential presidential run by his GOP rival very disloyal. There are Republican governors that did not close their states, Trump told reporters while aboard his plane. Florida was closed for a long period of time. They're trying to rewrite history, he added. CNN has reached out to DeSantis for comment. In March 2020, the Florida governor issued an executive order closing bars and nightclubs, urging people to follow U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention guidelines to limit gatherings on beaches to no more than 10 people. By that September, DeSantis signed an order clearing restaurants and bars to fully open, which drew criticism from public health officials due to the COVID-19 spike that fall. Trump defended his management of the pandemic, saying he left decisions to governors. "I had governors that decided not to close a thing, and that was up to them," he said. The former president also took aim at DeSantis' shifting posture on vaccines, saying the Florida governor had changed his tune a lot. That claim comes after DeSantis called on state lawmakers this month to make permanent existing penalties for companies that require all employees get the COVID-19 vaccination. The rivalry with Trump hangs over every move DeSantis makes. Their relationship traces back to the governor's 2018 primary campaign, when an endorsement from Trump helped the little-known congressman win the nomination. A viral ad featuring DeSantis and his family, including 2 young children, highlighted his allegiance to Trump. But as talk of 2024 swirled in recent months, as Trump again declared his presidential candidacy, DeSantis won re-election in a 19-point landslide in November. The pair grew increasingly at odds. Before and after the midterm election, Trump derided DeSantis as an average governor and mocked him with the would-be nickname, Ron DeSanctimonious. On Saturday, during his first major campaign swing to New Hampshire and South Carolina, Trump took credit again for helping elevate DeSantis during his 2018 bid for governor, saying Ron would have not been governor if it wasn't for me. So when I hear he might run, I consider that very disloyal, Trump said. While taking aim at DeSantis, Trump told reporters aboard his plane that Nikki Haley, who served as his ambassador to the United Nations, called him in recent days to inform him that she is considering launching a 2024 presidential bid. I talked to her for a little while. I said, look, go by your heart if you want to run, Trump said. She's publicly said that I would never run against my president. He was a great president. Trump said he told Haley that she should do it. Haley, who recently relocated her top aides to Charleston, is said to be weighing the timing of a campaign launch at this point, not wanting to be the first one to take on Trump by herself. In 2021, she said she would not challenge Trump if he ran again for the White House in 2024.